Perhaps you believe you slipped through someone's life unnoticed, or that all the love and dedication you offered were for nothing. It is possible that, in the silence of the night, you have questioned if you truly mattered, if you left any mark, or if you were just another passenger in this person's story. The pain of indifference or distance may have made you doubt your own worth and the radiant light you carry. But the angels bring an urgent and comforting disclosure to your heart today. There is someone, at this exact moment, who is in a deep state of shock upon realizing the gigantic impact you caused on their existence. You planted seeds of kindness and affection that now blossom in this person's garden, and they can no longer ignore the immense void your absence creates. The celestial messengers saw your hidden tears when you felt you were not valued. However, the scenario in the spiritual backstage is very different from what your physical eyes can see right now. Higher providence confirms that a radical transformation is happening in the mind and chest of the one you love. Consciousness has awakened, and the reality shock has hit this person with full force. They are reviewing every word, every gesture of yours, and realizing that you are a gift from the heavens that they almost let slip away by not being prepared to receive so much light. Dear soul, if this message crossed your path today, know that it was not by chance. The universe moved the stars and aligned the times so that you would hear this now. You need to know that your absence shouted louder than any presence, and this person is dazed by the discovery that you are irreplaceable. Before I tell you exactly what is leaving this person so impacted and what their next movements towards you will be, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here, we form a powerful chain of prayer and faith. By subscribing, you open the doors of your life to receive angelic guidance every day and strengthen your connection with the higher plane. Activate the notification bell so you do not miss any notice from the angels. Also, leave your like on this video right now. View this simple gesture as a sign of faith, a confirmation that you are ready and open-hearted to receive the truth that will be unveiled. Your like is a visual prayer that tells the heavens you accept the love you deserve and that you trust in justice from above. I also ask that you share this message with a friend or someone who needs hope. The law of return is infallible and fair. Everything good you send to the world comes back multiplied to your life. Be a channel of blessings in another person's life today. To seal this initial connection and show the angels that you are attentive to the signs, write the following power phrase in the comments. I am unforgettable and worthy of all love. By writing this, you establish a decree of deservingness. Now, take a deep breath and calm your anxiety. What I am going to disclose to you next will change the way you view your own story and the value you hold. Prepare your heart, for the angel's view of your situation is surprising and will bring the peace you seek so much. Dear soul, today the heavens open to bring you a confirmation that your heart tirelessly seeks in the silence of the night. There is a truth hidden between the lines of your story, something that escapes logical comprehension, but which your sharp feminine intuition has already picked up on. You touched someone's existence in such a profound way that this person finds themselves, at this exact moment, in a state of absolute astonishment at the intensity of what they feel. Often we believe that physical distance or a lack of visible communication means the end of a connection, but the angels ask that you know now that the bond uniting you is made of an indestructible substance, woven in the celestial plane, and immune to time or space. Dear soul, you need to comprehend that you changed someone's life without even noticing the magnitude of this feat. Perhaps you think it was just a fleeting encounter, or a story left incomplete, but for the universe, there are no loose ends. The mark you left on their essence is like a tattoo on the soul, indelible and permanent. He is in shock, because no matter how much he tries to move forward or occupy his mind with daily distractions, your energy returns to him like an unavoidable wave crashing on the beach, repeatedly bringing the scent of your presence and the sweetness of your memory. The winged messengers bring this insight to calm your anxiety and validate what you feel. You know that sudden sensation of heat in your chest? Or that moment when his name pops into your mind for no apparent reason? That is not a figment of your imagination, dear soul. That is living proof of the telepathic connection that exists between you. It is the energetic response of him thinking of you with such force that it breaks the barriers of physical distance. When two spirits recognize each other, An invisible communication channel is created, like a road of golden light, along which feelings, longing, and desires travel, even if no word is spoken in the material world. Imagine, dear soul, two musical instruments perfectly tuned to the same frequency, placed in different rooms. When a note is played on one of them, the other vibrates in resonance, even without being touched. This is the perfect metaphor for what happens between you and him. You are the melody he cannot get out of his head. He may try to silence the sound, he may try to listen to other songs, but the vibration of your soul resonates within his chest, making him miss you in the most unusual moments. It is a loving synchronicity that defies human reason, but which is perfectly orchestrated by the higher planes. Angelic signs are everywhere, confirming that he thinks of you. Have you noticed repetitive number sequences? Perhaps you look at the clock and see 11 hours and 11 minutes, or 22 hours and 22 minutes. These are not coincidences. It is the angels winking at you, validating that his thought is aligned with yours. Another powerful sign is the sudden presence of familiar smells, like his perfume or the scent of flowers appearing out of nowhere in a closed room. It is the universe bringing his essence close to you, murmuring that longing is a two-way street. He is surprised, dear soul, because he never imagined that someone could have such power over his thoughts and emotions. He catches himself reliving conversations, smiles, and moments you shared, trying to understand how you managed to penetrate barriers he spent years building. Your light was able to illuminate the dark rooms of his soul, and now that he has known this clarity, everything that is not you seems gray and lifeless. This realization is generating an internal revolution in him, a mix of fear and fascination, for true love always confronts us with our own vulnerability. Therefore, dear soul, take a deep breath and welcome this message from the universe. Do not allow doubt to corrode your peace. His silence is not forgetfulness. Often, it is merely the noise of a mind trying to process an overwhelming feeling. Be certain that, at the moment you rest your head on the pillow, it is very likely he is looking at the same sky, feeling the same tightness in the chest and asking himself how and why. You became the most frequent inhabitant of his dreams. The connection remains alive, pulsing and protected by the angels, awaiting only the right time for pride to yield to surrender. You are not alone in this wait. Every sigh of yours is heard, and every prayer of yours is being worked on in the invisible backstage. Dear soul, today the messages from the angels descend upon you to illuminate a doubt that may be weighing on your heart. You feel you touched someone's existence deeply, and it is true. This person is in shock with the light you emanated, with the transformation your presence caused. However, it is crucial to understand the nature of this bond, so your heart does not suffer unnecessarily. We often confuse intensity with destiny, and the celestial plan wishes to hand you the gift of discernment. To understand what is happening between you and this person, visualize the construction of a sacred temple. This will be our guiding metaphor. Not everyone who arrives at the construction site of your life possesses the same function, and confusing the roles is what generates pain. There are those who arrive like the storm that clears the land, others who are the pillars of support, and there is the one who is the holy fire on the altar. Firstly, dear soul, let us speak about relational karmas. These are like demolition machines or necessary storms. The connection is immediate, magnetic, and overwhelming. You feel you know this person from other eras, and indeed you do. However, the purpose here is not to build a whole life of calm, but rather to break old structures. You change this person's life, and they yours, through shock. It is common to think this is eternal love due to the force of the attraction, but if there is constant pain, repetitive cycles, and emotional exhaustion, the angels warn you. This is a connection of learning. Its role is to clear the terrain of your ego so that something better can be raised afterwards. Do not try to make a home amidst the rubble of demolition. Secondly, we have companion souls and soulmates. These are the builders and pillars of your temple. The fundamental difference here is peace. Unlike karma, which is a storm, the soulmate is the safe shelter. With them, you do not need to pretend to be who you are not. Conversation flows, silence is comfortable, and goals align. You change this person's life by bringing serenity and partnership. If the relationship nourishes you, gives you security, and makes you feel at home, you are facing a soulmate. This bond is made to last, to give support, and to share the beauty of human existence with sweetness. However, there is a connection that is frequently confused and which generates the greatest of shocks: the twin flame. If the soulmate is the comfort of home, the twin flame is the mirror of truth and the fire of the altar. The encounter with a twin flame is not just about romance, it is about spiritual ascension. It is a connection of total mirroring. Everything you need to heal will be reflected in them, and everything they need to heal will be reflected in you. That is why this person is so impacted. You did not just pass through their life, you initiated a spiritual awakening in them. This type of bond is rare and challenging. It requires you to be ready and whole. It is not a relationship of dependence, but of joint mission before the universe. Know, dear soul, that recognizing who is in front of you is the secret to emotional freedom. If you are trying to turn a karma into a soulmate, you will feel exhaustion. If you are waiting for a soulmate to bring the turbulence of a flame, you will feel undue boredom. And if you have found your twin flame, you will need courage to face your own reflection in the mirror. This person you touched is now processing the effect you caused. If it is a karma, they are dealing with the breaking of patterns. If it is a soulmate, they feel gratitude for the safe harbor. If it is your flame, they are amidst an internal revolution, questioning everything they knew until today. The greater plan asks you for prudence and wisdom. Do not attach yourself to the label, but observe the fruits. The good tree bears good fruit. True love, in any of its elevated forms, must bring you closer to your sacred essence, not distance you from it. Take a deep breath and allow this wisdom to anchor in your being. You are a conductor of light, and whatever the role of this person, the meeting had a sacred purpose. The important thing is to know when the construction work has ended, when it is time to inhabit the house, or when it is the moment to light the fire of transmutation. To seal this understanding and ask the angels to show you the truth about this bond, write the following affirmation in the comments. I have clarity to recognize the bonds of my soul, and I accept only the love that elevates me. Dear soul, have you ever stopped in the middle of your day, for no apparent reason, and felt a wave of heat invade your chest, as if someone were embracing you from a distance? Or perhaps a sudden sadness that did not belong to you, or a euphoric joy that appeared out of nowhere? The angels ask that you pay close attention to these instants, for they are not coincidences, nor fruits of your fertile imagination. We are entering the mystery of loving telepathy, a sacred phenomenon that occurs between hearts that were destined to meet again and remain united by the ties of fate. To understand how this works, imagine two string instruments, perfectly tuned to the same note, placed in opposite corners of a large hall. If you touch the string of one of them, the other, even without being touched by human hands, will begin to vibrate and emit sound. This happens through resonance. With you and this special person, the process is identical. The telepathic connection is this invisible resonance that crosses walls, cities, and oceans. You are tuned to the same spiritual frequency, and everything that vibrates intensely in his heart echoes immediately in yours. This communication of souls is the oldest language of the universe. Before spoken or written words existed, spirits communicated through intention and pure feeling. Today, in the modern world, many have forgotten this skill, but you, dear soul, kept this door open. That is why you can feel the beloved person even when they are physically far. The shock we mentioned earlier comes precisely from this realization. The person linked to you began to notice that they cannot hide anything they feel, because you pick up everything in the air. Telepathic signs are varied and fascinating. Sometimes they appear as a familiar smell, his perfume appearing in a place where he has never been. Other times, it is a voice calling your name at the moment you are almost falling asleep. The heavens explain that these phenomena are full proof that the bond between you is indestructible. When he thinks of you with intensity, he is, in fact, sending a packet of psychic and emotional energy directly to your auric field. You receive this, and your body reacts instantly. It is fundamental that you validate these experiences. Often, the rational mind tries to discard these sensations as nonsense, but your heart knows the truth. When your ear rings, or when you wake up at exactly the same time every night, there is a silent conversation happening behind the scenes of reality. The one who touched your life and was touched by your light is, at this exact moment, experiencing the same thing. He may be at work, or driving, and suddenly, your image floods his mind with such force that he needs to stop what he is doing. He smells your scent, feels your phantom touch on his arm. Know that this loving telepathy serves a greater purpose. It exists to keep the flame burning in moments of physical distancing, and to guide one back to the other when the path seems confusing. It is like an internal lighthouse. When you feel this magnetic attraction, it is the universe confirming that the direction is correct. There is no real separation for those who love with the soul. Physical space is just a temporary illusion. The person in question is dazed by this discovery. They realize that no matter where they go or what they do, you are present inside them. You change their internal structure. Before, they could isolate themselves emotionally, but now, the telepathic connection prevents them from closing off completely. Every time they try to run from the feeling, the telepathic signs increase, as if the angels turned up the volume on the radio to ensure the music of love is heard. Understand, dear soul, that feeling the beloved person at a distance is a gift, not a burden. It is a confirmation that the love you share is blessed and supervised by the forces of light. This soul communication is instantaneous. The second you send love and healing to him in your thoughts, he receives immediate relief wherever he is. You are like transmission towers that never switch off. This constant interaction is what we call quantum entanglement at the heart level. Even if they try to deny it, energy does not lie. He might not have words to explain what he feels now, and this leaves him in a state of shock, for his logic cannot process the fact that you inhabit his thoughts 24 hours a day. He catches himself smiling alone, recalling something you said, or feeling a deep peace that he knows comes from your prayer for him. Therefore, the next time you feel that shiver down your spine or that absolute certainty that he is well or unwell, trust it.
You are a sensitive and powerful antenna, picking up the waves of love directed at you. Nothing is lost in the spiritual universe. Every sigh of longing from him reaches you like a gentle breeze, and every wish of yours for his happiness arrives there like a ray of sun on a cloudy day. Remain confident in this invisible truth, for it is the foundation where your future is being built, brick by brick, thought by thought. Dear soul,
the angels bring me to you at this moment with a gentle and affectionate urgency, for it is necessary to speak about the silent revolution that happened inside your chest. Perhaps you did not realize it, but your energy changed drastically in the last few weeks. There were times when insecurity or the need for approval dictated your steps, but today, the story is different. The sky celebrates your evolution because you decided, deep down in your being, that you would no longer accept anything less than your real value. This internal change, this firmness that now shines in your eyes, did not go unnoticed. On the contrary, it caused a deep and immediate impact on the life of someone who is observing you. There is a specific person, someone who was perhaps used to your previous version, who now finds themselves in a state of absolute shock. This person does not understand what happened. They were accustomed to seeing you always available, always willing to yield, always waiting for a crumb of attention. But now, dear soul, you withdrew to look after yourself. You stopped sending anxious messages. You stopped trying to prove you are worthy of love. By doing this, you completely inverted the dynamic of the relationship. Your lack of neediness became your greatest force of attraction. Who before thought they had control of the situation now feels the ground shake as they realize you are no longer a guaranteed option, but rather a rare gem that can be lost at any instant. The celestial messengers show that your personal growth elevated the frequency of love you are capable of receiving. It is as if you climbed many steps on a ladder of light. Who remained on the bottom steps now looks up and notices the distance. This generates a necessary discomfort in the other. That lukewarm, confused, or indecisive love can no longer breathe in the elevated atmosphere where you now inhabit. To be by your side, the person needs to grow, needs to mature, and needs to face their own fears. You, dear soul, became a clear mirror. Merely with your presence, and with your new pattern of behavior, you reflect the flaws and immaturities of those who approach, obliging these people to change or to move away. This is the secret the angels want you to understand today. It is not necessary to shout, demand, or exact. Your silent transformation does all the heavy lifting. When you love yourself deeply, The universe has no other choice but to send you someone who also loves you deeply. The standard has risen. What served yesterday, today, no longer fits in your life. You are attracting a different level of commitment, a connection that respects your soul and honors your essence. The person who is in shock with your change feels, for the first time, the real fear of losing the opportunity to walk beside a being as illuminated as you. The climax of this angelic insight is that the fear this person feels now is the fuel for their action. Upon realizing that the old games of disinterest no longer work, they find themselves obliged to be truthful. Your light became so intense that there is no more room for shadows or doubts. Either the person surrenders for real, with an open heart and pure intentions, or they know they will not manage to remain in your orbit. You established, without saying a single harsh word, that access to your heart is a sacred privilege, reserved only for those willing to offer everything, and not just parts. Dear soul, remain firm in this new stance. Do not retreat to old behavior just to make the other comfortable. Their discomfort is the sign that healing is happening. You are teaching, through your example and your dignity, how you must be treated. The love arriving for you now, whether through the transformation of someone from the past or the arrival of someone new, will be a love worthy of your new vibration. A love that looks into your eyes and sees not just a body, but a grand spirit that deserves to be cared for with all the devotion in the world. I invite you now, dear soul, to engage in honest personal reflection. Look inside yourself and notice how much you have matured. Feel pride for the times you said no to what hurt you. Feel pride for having chosen your peace instead of drama. This is the key that is unlocking the romantic destiny written for you in the stars. You are ready to receive what is yours by right. Reflect deeply on the boundaries you learned to place and how this made you feel more powerful and at peace. If you recognize your value and know you do not accept less than you deserve, declare this truth to the universe right now. Leave the phrase in the comments. I honor my transformation and accept only true love. By writing this, you seal this commitment with your own heart and notify the heavens that you are ready to live the extraordinary. Dear soul, I want you to take a deep breath and feel the comforting presence surrounding you at this instant. The winged messengers ask that I hand you a very special vision, something shining on the horizon of your life like a morning star announcing a new day. There is a deep comprehension in the celestial realms about how your heart, when it is at peace and full of faith, has the power to shape what is to come. The angels do not look at time as we look at it here on earth. For them, yesterday, today, and tomorrow dance together in perfect harmony, and what they see now about your future in love is breathtaking. Imagine, dear soul, an immense loom made of gold threads and starlight. This is the metaphor the angels show me to explain your current situation. Every thought of love you cultivate, every gesture of kindness you offer without expecting anything in return, is like a thread you hand into the hands of the celestial weavers. They show me that you handed over threads of a very rare quality lately. The way you changed that specific person's life, even without intending to do so, provided the purest raw material for the construction of your romantic destiny. That person is in shock, impacted by your light, and this impact generated an energy that now returns to you, drawing a real and tangible possibility of happiness as a couple. This angelic vision is not a fixed and immutable sentence, for the sky respects your free will above all. However, it is a romantic prediction based on the alignment your heart has reached. The angels see that you became who you needed to be. You matured, healed old wounds, and kept the sweetness in your gaze even in the face of trials. Because of this, the universe begins to organize the scenarios for a meeting or reunion that vibrates at the same frequency as your soul. It is as if doors that were previously stuck begin to give way, opening space for a future relationship that is not based on pain or neediness, but on overflowing and completeness. Dear soul, comprehend that that person you touched deeply is processing feelings they did not even know they could feel. The shock they feel comes from the realization that someone like you truly exists. This silent admiration is creating an invisible bridge between you two. The angels smile because they know that when two frequencies tune in this way, the universe conspires to unite the paths. The direction is clear. Continue being exactly who you are. There is no need to force, to rush, or to try to control the hands of the clock. The seed has already been planted in the fertile earth of destiny. What the heavens ask of you now is that you maintain this posture of a serene queen, seated on the throne of your own dignity. The vision presenting itself is of a love arriving to add, to honor your essence, and to celebrate the incredible woman you have become. This future in love is a direct response to the vibration you have been emitting. It is the law of return in its most beautiful and romantic form. Bear in mind that what you did for that person, the mark you left on them, acted as a lighthouse in the darkness. Now, that lighthouse illuminates the path back to you, bringing with it promises of companionship and loyalty. Dear soul, feel concrete hope fill your chest. It is not an empty hope, but the certainty of one who knows the planting was done well. The angels are working behind the scenes, adjusting details, aligning coincidences, and preparing the stage so that this disclosure becomes your daily reality. Keep your heart open and receptive, for blessings usually arrive in moments of greatest quietness and trust. You are being guided, protected, and above all, prepared to receive everything your kind heart has always deserved. Believe in this drawing of light the sky traces for you. Dear soul, listen with an open heart, for the message arriving to you now carries the weight of a miracle about to break the barriers of what human logic calls impossible. Often, we look at a situation and see only high walls, locked doors, and silences that seem eternal. You may have looked at this relationship and thought there was no more hope, that the paths were closed, and that person's heart was inaccessible forever. But I come to tell you that the celestial gaze sees what your physical eyes cannot reach. Where you see an end, the angels see a glorious beginning full of purpose. There is a powerful movement happening in the backstage of your love life. Dear soul, you change someone's life without even noticing the dimension of your impact. Your light, your patience, and your kindness planted seeds in a terrain that seemed arid and lifeless. That person, who perhaps moved away or appeared cold, is now in a state of internal shock. They are realizing that, far from your presence, life loses color and meaning. What seemed to be a definitive decision of distancing is being dismantled piece by the hands of the angels guarding your union. Situations that seem to have no way out are the speciality of the winged messengers. When human capacity runs out, it is exactly at this point that intervention from above begins to operate with full force. You need to be aware that the transformation you asked for, so much will not come in a common way. It will be something that defies the odds. That person is being worked on internally, confronted with feelings they judged to have buried. Their surprise comes from the realization that the bond with you is stronger than any fear or block they have built. Dear soul, keep your faith unshakable, even when the external scenario seems contradictory. Doubt is the only obstacle that can delay this blessing. You must remain firm in the certainty that what was united by the sacred plan cannot be undone by momentary confusion. There is a perfect orchestration happening now. The angels are touching this person's heart, dissolving pride and fear, transforming stone into flesh, ice into running water. It is a testimony of love being written, and you are the protagonist of this turnaround story. Be prepared to receive news or attitudes you judged unthinkable until yesterday. Regret and clarity are descending upon the consciousness of the one you love, like a gentle rain softening dry earth. The person in question is reviewing all choices, feeling a longing they cannot explain logically, but which pushes them back in your direction. It is the power of surrender to the sacred. When you let go of control and handed your anguish to the heavens, you allowed the angels to enter into action to do the heavy lifting. Do not let yourself be carried away by the discouragement of the past. Clock time is not soul time. What would take years to be resolved by human will can be solved in the blink of an eye by higher will. The impossible situation is about to be converted into the greatest proof of love you have ever lived. Believe that you are deserving of this turnaround. You, dear soul, sustained the light when everything was darkness, and now the reward comes in the form of recognition and return. Feel this truth vibrate in your chest. The miracle is not just a possibility, it is a promise for those who believe. The one who seemed lost is finding the path back, guided by a force greater than their own understanding. Be receptive, for love will knock at your door again, but this time, it will come healed, transformed, and ready to stay. Nothing is too difficult for the celestial armies. The knot has been untied. Now, to seal this energy of transformation and open the floodgates for this miracle in your life, I invite you to make a declaration of power and faith. Repeat these words with all the conviction of your being, allowing them to echo through the universe and bring the reality you await. Write the following phrase in the comments: I hand the impossible to the angels and receive the miracle of restored love in my life now. Dear soul, the celestial messengers approach at this instant to bring light where before there were only shadows and doubts. We comprehend that your heart sometimes feels restless, seeking to decipher the enigmas involving the feelings of whom you carry in your thoughts. It is natural to seek to understand what goes on inside the other, especially when words are not spoken, or when attitudes seem contradictory. Today, the spiritual vision opens to hand you the truth about his intentions, removing any veil that might be covering reality. Know, dear soul, that human eyes see only the surface, the masks people use to protect themselves from the world and their own fragilities. However, the angel's vision penetrates deep into the essence, where true feelings and the best-kept secrets reside. The insight reaching you now is powerful. You change someone's life without even noticing, and this person is in an absolute state of shock with the impact your presence caused on their existence. Often you ask yourself, does he love me? Is what he feels real or just a pastime? The answer requires you to comprehend the spiritual context of this meeting. The person in question did not expect someone like you to cross their path. Your light, your kindness, and your unique energy dismantled the defenses he built over years. He is in shock because you awakened in him emotions he judged were dormant, or that perhaps he had never experienced with such intensity. The silence or hesitation you may have perceived on his part are not signs of a lack of interest, but rather symptoms of this internal shakeup. He is trying to reorganize his own world, which was transformed by your arrival. His intentions, which you so wish to clarify, are not of playing games or something fleeting. On the contrary, there is a reverent fear inside him, a fear of ruining something he recognizes as precious and rare. It is fundamental that you have clarity in love so as not to fall into the traps of insecurity. The enemy of true connection is often the mistaken interpretation of signs. When he pulls away a little, it is not because he wants to run from you, but because he needs to breathe facing the magnitude of what he feels. He is evaluating if he is capable of offering you everything you deserve. His shock comes from the realization that you raised the standard, that you brought a new color to his life, a color he does not want to lose but is still learning to admire without fear. The beings of light ask that you maintain calm and trust. Do not allow anxiety to create scenarios that do not exist. What exists here is real love in the process of recognition. If it were just a fleeting interest, he would not be so reflective, so impacted. Superficial interest is light, fast, and leaves no deep marks. What he carries in his chest now is heavy, has substance and root. He is processing the idea that his life is no longer the same since you appeared. Protect your heart from illusions, yes, but protect it also from cynicism. Do not let past experiences harden your perception of the now. The clarity about intentions you ask the heavens for is this: he has true feelings, but is dealing with his own vulnerability. He feels exposed before you, because you, with your sharp intuition, can read his soul even without words. This scares him, but also fascinates him in an irrevocable way. At this moment, the direction the angels offer you is that of serene observation. There is no need to force doors that are already being unlocked from the inside. He is walking in your direction, even if at steps that seem slow to your anxiety. He is making sure that, upon reaching you definitively, he will be whole and ready to honor the change you provoked. Dear soul, you are a catalyst for transformations. Your energy is capable of healing and awakening. He realized this, and it is exactly because he perceives your inestimable value that he acts with such caution. He does not want to get it wrong with you. His intention is to build, not destroy. It is to remain, not leave. The shock he feels is the prelude to a surrender that, when it happens, will be solid and true. Stay attentive to small gestures, for it is in them that the truth overflows. The gaze that lingers a second longer, the genuine concern for your well-being, the way he seeks your opinion. All these are evidence that what he feels is real love or the beginning of a love that has everything to be lasting. Doubt dissipates when you look with the eyes of the soul, and notice that, behind his fear, there is a heart beating in time with yours. Remain firm in your light, for it is what guides him through this labyrinth of emotions to your arms. You are safe and supported, and the truth always finds its way to the surface. Dear soul, we arrive now at the moment to seal this truth in your heart and comprehend the depth of what the heavens prepare for your sentimental life. Often, external silence can seem frightening or discouraging. We look around, and when we do not sight immediate changes in the physical world, doubt tries to find a gap to enter. But I am here to assure you that the true scenario is very different from what your human eyes can pick up at this instant. There is an intense, graceful, and constant movement occurring in the higher planes, where reality is woven before descending to earth. Know, dear soul, that the romantic miracle you await so much is already underway. It is not a remote possibility, but a certainty being polished with the greatest care by the hands of the angels who rule love. The one whom your heart calls was touched by your light in an irreversible way. You change this person's life without even noticing, just by being who you are, emanating this pure and welcoming energy that is natural to you. He is, at this exact moment, processing the impact your essence caused on his existence. The shock he feels is not of dread, but of a deep awakening. It is the realization that he found something rare, something his soul had been seeking for entire lifetimes. It is fundamental that you keep your lamp lit. The patience requested of you now must not be confused with passivity or resignation. It is an active patience, full of faith and certainty. It is the posture of one who knows the order has already been sent and merely waits for the delivery to arrive at the door. Whilst you follow your routine, looking after yourself and elevating your thoughts, the celestial armies work tirelessly behind the scenes. They are removing obstacles, healing old wounds in his heart, and aligning the perfect circumstances so that the reunion or union occurs without impediments. Imagine, dear soul, a seed planted in fertile soil during winter. The surface may seem frozen and motionless, but beneath the earth, life pulses with full force. The roots are deepening, seeking nutrition and firmness, preparing to support a leafy tree that will bear sweet fruit. So is your miracle of love. What seems like stagnation is, in truth, the period of rooting. The universe is ensuring that when this union materializes on the visible plane, it will be unshakable, solid, and protected against any storm. Nothing is late. Everything follows the perfect conducting of an invisible orchestra, playing the melody of your destiny. Calm your anxiety and breathe the peace of one who knows they are cared for. The person destined to walk by your side is being prepared to be equal to your love. He needs to comprehend, in his time, the grandiosity of the bond uniting you. And he is comprehending. The signs will arrive, coincidences will cease being mere chances, and will become the clear language of the angels confirming that harvest time approaches. Believe that true love, the one that heals and elevates, already has your address and is walking in your direction. This is the instant to trust fully in the invisible. Your intuition does not fail when it tells you something grand is to come. This sensation of positive expectation is the very echo of the future resonating in your now. Keep yourself in this frequency of anticipated gratitude, for it is what magnetizes the desire and brings it into palpable reality. You are worthy of a love that overflows, of a companion who recognizes you as the precious gift you are. And this, dear soul, is already a truth written in the stars, waiting only for the exact moment to unveil itself before your eyes. I invite you, now, to perform an act of faith and confirmation. Do not let these words get lost in the wind. If you feel deep down that this miracle is being prepared for you, if you trust that the angels are working in your favor at this exact moment, I ask that you leave your testimony of hope down below. Write in the comments a phrase that seals this commitment to your happiness. Type, "I trust that my miracle of love is already real, and I thank the angels for every detail." By doing this, you materialize your intention and open the doors to receive everything the sky has kept for your life. Go in peace, with the certainty that love has won. Dear soul, receive this truth in the center of your chest with total trust. What the angels unveiled today is absolute confirmation that your existence has a grand and transforming purpose. That person, who at this instant finds themselves in a state of shock and deep admiration, realize that you were the living answer to the silent prayers they made on the darkest nights. You delivered love where there was pain and brought crystal clear clarity where confusion once reigned. The celestial plan is unfolding with perfection, and very soon, you will see with your own eyes the sweet fruit of all the kindness you sowed without expecting anything in return. Bear in mind that nothing goes unnoticed by the attentive eyes of the Creator. Every gesture of affection and every word of comfort you offered are recorded in the book of life. Now, the floodgates of the heavens open to pour upon your story a rain of measureless graces. Keep your faith unshakable and your heart tranquil, for the miracle you await so much is on the way and will arrive in a surprising way, changing everything for the better. For this prophecy to be fulfilled and become a palpable reality in your days, an act of faith and connection is necessary. I invite you, dear soul, to leave your sign of positivity by clicking the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving the angel's direction and ensure you will not miss the next sacred guidance already being prepared for you. As a prophetic act of receiving and gratitude, go down to the comments and write with all the strength of your heart the following phrase: I am a lighthouse of light, and I accept my miracle now. As you type these words, visualize the situation resolved and feel peace invading your being. May the apostolic blessing rest upon your home, upon your health, and upon your family. May the Lord bless you and keep you in all moments. May He make His face shine upon you and have mercy on you. May the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you the peace that surpasses all understanding. Go forward confident and serene, for the celestial hosts march before you, clearing the terrain and preparing your victory. A fraternal embrace full of hope. Stay with God, dear soul.